Hi everyone, it's Jeanette, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got into Erasmus University and talking about my life here and what's it like living in Rotterdam. So firstly, I'm going to talk about my decision of why I chose Erasmus University. I just really remember being very confused about which university I wanted to apply to, watching all the YouTube videos I could find, and there were a couple of universities I was interested in the UK, and there was also the Erasmus University, and I just felt that going to the UK, many Singaporeans do that. I'm Singaporean, by the way. A lot of my cousins did that, and I just wanted something different. And I did some research that a lot of people in the Netherlands actually speak English, and there's a big international student community here. So after that research, I kind of went ahead and made my decision because many people in the Netherlands do speak English, and it's going to be super useful if you know Dutch, but you can survive with English here. The amount of study years is also 3 years here, so that means I'm 1 year ahead of what I could be compared to if I did my studies in the UK, and that was definitely a big pro to influence my decision to be here. So one question I always get is, what are the credentials that you need to have to get into the university? It really depends on the program, I would say. So I'm in the IBA program, which is International Business Administration, and there is the exact same program and same courses just conducted in Dutch called BA, which is Business Administration. What I am in, we needed to send in our CV or a motivational letter as part of our applications, as well as our high school transcripts. Me, I did my high school in Singapore, and we did the IB program, which is an International Baccalaureate program. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it's an internationally recognized program, and I got a pretty nice score of 41 out of 45, which allowed me to have quite an array of options. And I decided to come to Erasmus University really based on this one aerial video shot of the campus that I will insert here if I can find it, and that really inspired my decision to be here, and now I am here, which is crazy, 2 years into it. And a CV, of course, really suggests to just put in things that you have done, extracurriculars, sport, any teamwork activities that you have done over the years, like to show the university that you're a diverse, whole-rounded, holistic character. So also another part is, what is IBA like and how is the course system? The academic year starts in September and it goes all the way until around the end of June or beginning of July before summer break starts. And at least for how my years are split up, I'm not sure if they changed it in the coming years. We had a system of 4 blocks, so each block runs about 2 or 2.5 months. It's 8 weeks. I think that's 2 months. We have a lot of group projects, individual assignments, as well as exams, and there's just a good mix of it between the courses. So I said there's 4 blocks. Each block has around 3 to 5 or 6 different courses depending on how intense that block is. So some blocks are more intense and difficult compared to other blocks, and different courses have different curriculum in terms of how they were going to conduct their grading system. In some courses, you might have an exam that's 100% graded based on a final exam. Some courses that might have a midterm and a couple assignments and another final exam, and it will be split into like 20%, 10%, 10%, that kind of weightages. Or you might have projects that is just report based, and it might also be conducted over a couple blocks, which is in the case of one of our courses called Strategic Business Plan, conducted within like a 3-block span, so it's like 6 months, and it's a much more EC points, which is like credits basically. You also work in a group for 6 months, so it really teaches you a lot of teamwork and team building and communication skills. That's what I really love about IBA, the fact that there's a lot of options and a lot of things that we get to try out. Different courses. Our courses range from human resource management, HRM, to finance, corporate finance, accounting. And what we also have is, we have a lot of mathematical course, so we have a lot of numbers involved, and also a lot of narrative theoretical side. Some courses that are more heavier on the content side, heavier on the practice side compared to others, but I think it's a good blend of both. Part of the university experience, obviously, besides the studying side, it's the accommodations, the living, the social life. How is it like here? I've never been to Rotterdam. I've never been to the Netherlands before I moved here, and coming here for the first time, landing like at Amsterdam airport, coming to Rotterdam Central Station, me and my parents, they came with me for moral support, of course. For a few weeks, it was really chaotic. In the first few weeks, of university, everyone's just down to make friends, everyone's super open. And also when I started university, it was when COVID kind of ended. COVID was kind of a thing still. Obviously we had to do like the swab test and stuff. We had lots of parties, house parties, and like 1 month into first year, clubs opened up, so it was crazy. I wish I could relive that memory because the way everyone was just going at it, and I don't think like the next few years it's the same experience because now clubs is the norm now and it's always open. So I'm pretty sure that's still the case now for every first year batch of students. You just want to make friends, you just want to meet new people, and that's the thing in university, you're gonna meet so many new people. In high school, you're kind of still in that bubble where, oh okay, everyone's like this, I grew up with them, these are how people are. But when you go into university, you realize, whoa, there is so much more you have never even seen. And that's definitely what I felt, especially coming from so far away. Lifestyle's different, the food's different, the weather's different, everything is different. If you are still contemplating whether you should take that leap and move out, or even go to university, someplace, some country different, go, because it's definitely worth it. Okay. I realized I kind of drifted off topic. I was trying to give informative information about housing. I got all my housing information online. And online I found this place called Hata, and it was located on Erasmus campus, and a shared apartment. You get your own room and you share like a kitchen and a bathroom with your roommates. I managed to find a room where it was 2 rooms and I will only have 1 roommate instead of 2 roommates. It's a very, very, very competitive process for everyone who underestimates this. There's a housing crisis in the Netherlands. I hope like people know this before they come here. A lot of students actually apply, they get in, they're ready to come here and they can't find a place. Finding a house in the Netherlands is more competitive than getting into universities in general, because definitely try and get a place before you come here, because if you come here without a place, you're gonna suffer and it's not gonna be pretty. I got really lucky with Hata. When the site opened somewhere in the summer, you have to be on the site, you have to get your apartment. And this is the same for other student housings like Zior, PSH, the student hub, and also another one called EIH, Erasmus International House. I believe they're all the same process. Like there's a certain deadline or like an open application process, and it opens at a certain specific time and you have to be on the site to get the apartment, because if you're late, 1 hour, it's gone. If this video gets posted and you guys did not manage to get a place, some other websites I can recommend for Housing Anywhere, Perarius, Room Plaza, and Comernet. So give it a shot. It's a bit harder as an international student for sure, but I'm pretty sure you guys can finesse your way through it. So traveling in the Netherlands, it's a whole different culture, because one thing they use here a lot is bikes. And I'm from Singapore, we don't really bike in Asia ever. Like you bike everywhere, you bike to the parties, you bike to the grocery shops, you bike to the campus, you bike everywhere. And in the Netherlands, don't make the same mistake as I did, because when I googled the Netherlands, all I got was sunny, flowery tulips, images, perfect pictures in the summer. But almost 8 months out of the 12 months, the Netherlands is having rain, it's having a cold wind, it's like cold here to the point where it's wet, cold, and it's gloomy, where there's very limited sunlight. So, and people still bike. These Dutch individuals are really, really strong in their biking culture, so that's amazing because it's eco-friendly and everything. But personally, I have fallen off my bike like 3 times already, so I don't really do that often. I take the tram, I take the metro. They have a really good, efficient transportation systems in the Netherlands, so you can really rely on that as well if you don't want to bike. If you do bike, you should definitely check out this renting option called Swap Feeds. And you pay like a monthly subscription and you just get a bike and you can ride it. And if you lose your key, if you lose your bike, they have numbers you just call and they bring a new bike over, or they bring a new key over. And you just have to pay like 15 euros or something like this. That happened to me recently. I recommend this because my first bike, which I got from Decathlon, and I thought it was such a pretty bike, I named her and everything, got stolen within like the first 2 months. And that happens a lot here where people just steal your bike. It could be a whole bike that just disappears because someone just took it. I don't even know how. I locked my bike, I locked it to a pole. I went down the next day and it was gone. So it happens to everyone. Everyone I speak to really has experienced like a stolen bike, or not even stolen bike. Some people just steal the pedals. Some people steal the bike seat. It's a really weird concept. I don't know what they do with these things. So coming to university, obviously everyone's main concern is how am I gonna make friends, how am I gonna meet people, like I'm here in a foreign country alone, or like definitely be open. And everyone in university, in first year even, especially in first year, is just so open to making new friends. You're not gonna have a problem with it as long as you put yourself out there to just be friendly and be nice. One big tip I would recommend is to join Eureka Week in Erasmus. It's the orientation week and it starts about 2 weeks before actual classes. But Eureka Week was where I made most of my friends that I even still have today. And obviously you'll make friends along the way through classes. It's just, I think the first 2 weeks when everyone's social battery is at like all-time high and they just want to come to a new country and make new friends, that's where you're gonna cast a bigger, wider pool of like potential friendships. You know, you meet so many different people, and obviously the ones that you really click with stay. I had a really good time in Eureka Week with a lot of the after events that were not exactly hosted by Eureka Week. I went to these after events that were like informal, and that's where I made a lot of friends as well. During the actual event, sometimes it can be a very hectic experience. Like, just prepare yourself for it. Meeting so many new people, you're in such a different environment, like everything can be so overwhelming. So don't be afraid. Like, the program is like a 5-day long event, I think. But don't be afraid to say, hey, I just don't want to do it today. Go to your room and just like rest the whole day. Like, that's completely fine. You don't have to follow the program every single time, and you need to also know like your boundaries and limitations with everything. Obviously with university culture there's a lot of partying involved, so you have to know your self-control, and if you know burnout or you're not feeling well to do it, just say no, and that's always possible, so don't be afraid to do that.